Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the things that came in the most recent bargain bead box, the one for October 2023. It's called the Falling Leaves Collection. In case you're not familiar, the bargain bead box is a monthly subscription of beads and findings. It's $22.99 a month, and that includes shipping in the United States. They have beautiful beads and findings. It's always curated around a different theme each month. And if you're a subscriber to the Bargain Bead Box, you get a 30% off coupon to use in their sister store, Bead Box Bargains. And you can use it as many times as you want to during the month, and they already have great prices. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa2, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. And here I have the 6mm green aventurine round beads. And here I have the 8mm green aventurine faceted round beads. And here I have the 7mm hematite synthetic rose gold nugget beads. And here I have some of the spacers that came in the box. I have a bunch of stuff in this little dish here. I'm going to make this is one of the toggles that came in the box, and it's going to be my focal. I'm going to have the toggle in the front. And I've already made half of it because I had to try to figure out what I wanted to do, because y'all know I always have to have my plan ahead of time before I do these videos. So I've already got half of it made, and I'm going to make the other half. I've got one of the 18 by 10mm brass leaf charms here. I'm going to use two of the 12 by 10.5mm pressed glass leaf beads green iris. I'm going to use two of the 10 by 8mm pressed glass leaf beads in jonquil, that's this one here, and two of the little leaf beads in magma. And I've got some pieces of chain that came in the box that I'm hanging them off the toggle with here. And I'm going to do the same on this side of the longer one. Make kind of a tassel hanging from the toggle there. And then I've got another piece of the chain that came in the box, and some jump rings, and I think that's everything that's in there. And I've got three very long copper head pins here. I don't know, I'll have to look and see where I got these. They've got to be 3 inches that I'm going to be using to do that with. I think that's everything that's in that little dish. And I've got my soft flex beading wire. This is metallic, so I just happen to have this. I don't usually get that kind of soft flex, but I found a bundle of it for on sale, and got a bunch of it. It's in fine, and the color is copper, and it's 21 strand. Of course, you can use whatever bead string wire you want to, and it doesn't really matter about the color, because once you get all the beads on there, you're not going to see the color of the bead string wire anyway. I've got my bead stoppers. I'm going to be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my bent chain nose pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my crimping pliers, and both pairs of my cutters. And I'll be using my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off. I think that's everything. I'll put links to everything I can find links for in the description box below. So hold on, and I'll get some of my stuff out here to finish my focal part of here, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to finish my focal here, and what I've done so far, I've got my longest piece of chain here it's 10 of the links of chain, and I just connected my little charm here to the chain with the little 4mm jump ring, and then I connected it to my toggle with a 6mm jump ring. And this length of chain is 7 links long, and I did a simple loop with this leaf with my head pin, and I connected it with a jump ring. I know I could have just connected it directly with the loop on the simple loop, but when I did that, my leaf was not facing forward like I wanted it to, so I connected it with a jump ring, a 4mm jump ring, and then I connected it to the toggle with a 6mm jump ring. And then I did the same on, well, I've dropped it here. I did the same on this one here with the magma leaf. I've got 5 links of the chain, and I connected it with a little 4mm jump ring and connected it to the toggle with a 6mm jump ring. And then on this little jonquil leaf, I've got only 2 of the links of the chain, and I did a simple loop on all these, and I connected it with a 4mm jump ring to the chain, and then with a 6mm jump ring to the toggle. So I'm going to do the rest of these to make my other half here. So I'm going to take one of these very long head pins and put my green leaf on here. And let me see, let me zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to go just a little bit above the bead because I don't want to crack my bead. I'm going to make a 90-degree bend. I'm going to zoom in just a little tiny bit more. Now I'm going to take my cutters. I'm going to cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin here. And I'm going to save this because that's plenty to do something else with. And now I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm going to go to the very tip of the pin, make sure there's no pin sticking out here. And I'm going to roll back a loop. Make sure to get my loop closed really well, and I'm not the best at making simple loops. I'm much more comfortable making wire wrap loops, but I started to make a wire wrap loops on these, and these head pins are really thick, and it was hard to do a wire wrap loop, so I'm doing simple loops. That's not closed as much as I would like for it to be, so I'm going to open it and close it there. Now I'm going to do that on my jonquil one here. Go to the very, or go a little bit above the bead so that I don't crack my bead. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. Take my round nose pliers and go to the very tip. Start rolling back a loop. Sure to get it closed really well. I usually always open them and close them back again, even if I think they're closed well, just to make sure. I'm going to do my last one here. Go a little bit above the bead. Bend at a 90-degree angle. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. Around those pliers. Start rolling back a loop. Okay. Now I'm going to take my pliers and one of my little 4mm jump rings. Open my jump ring, and I'm going to take my longest piece of chain, the piece that's got 7 links, take my green leaf and put it on the end of my chain here. Close it back up. And then I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring. Take my magma colored leaf and my little piece of chain that has 5 links. Close it up. And then take another 4mm jump ring. Open it up. Put my little jonquil colored leaf here. And my little piece of chain that only has 2 links. And close it up. And I find it easier to handle those little 4mm jump rings with my tweezer pliers. Now I'm going to get these other pliers for my 6mm jump rings. I'm going to open it up. Take my green. I think I'm going to have to open that up wider. I forgot that toggle clasp is pretty thick. Put my green leaf on here. Put it on this side of my center piece of chain there that has my charm on it. I'm going to take another 6mm jump ring. I'm going to use my heavier bent chain nose pliers too with these jump rings. Open this jump ring. Put my magma bead on here, or my magma leaf on here. Put it on this side of my green leaf that I just put on. Close my jump ring back really well. Now I'm going to take another 6mm jump ring. Open it up. Put my little jonquil leaf on here. Put it on this side of the one I just put on. I think I opened that up wide enough. There it goes, yeah. ring closed back up really well. Let's see what this looks like now. Okay, so that's going to be the front of my necklace with all my little leaves hanging there. So now I'm going to get my other beads and string up the body of the necklace, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to string up one side of my necklace here and crimp it, and I forgot when I did my supplies that I needed 4 crimp tubes. I've got 4 2x2 crimp tubes here. I didn't have those out. I don't know why I forgot those. And I don't have any wire guardians that are copper or rose gold. So I'm going to try to crimp this directly to my toggle clasp here, which I don't like to do, but I don't have a choice because I don't have any wire guardians that are copper or rose gold. If I had some crimp covers that were copper or rose gold, I would use those. I don't hardly ever use crimp covers, but if I had some, I would, but I don't have any of those that are copper or rose gold either. But if you do, that's what I would do, but I don't have any, so I'm going to have to do it this way. So I'm going to put on a 6mm aventurine bead and a spacer, an 8mm faceted aventurine bead and a spacer, a 6mm, and a spacer, and one of these nugget beads, a spacer, 6mm, spacer, 8mm, spacer, 6mm, spacer, nugget bead, spacer, 6mm, spacer, and now I'm going to do 3 of my 8mm with spacers between. And a 6mm, spacer, a nugget bead, a spacer, a 6mm, a spacer, 8mm, a spacer, 6mm, spacer, nugget bead, spacer, 6mm, spacer, 8mm, spacer, and a 6mm. So that's what I've got for one side of my necklace. And now I'm going to try to crimp this to my toggle here. So I'm going to put my crimp bead on and my toggle, and go back through my crimp bead, pull my wire through, hold my wires apart so they don't get crossed, and I'm going to leave some room there for my toggle to move. Try to hold my wires apart. Take these crimping pliers, and I'm going to go in that part that has the tooth. I'm going to put the tooth on top. Squeeze. I'm going to go into the part, there's 3 half circles on each side there. I'm going to go into the second one, that's the one for the 2x2 crimp tubes. And lay my crimp in there. Squeeze. Then go down a little bit and squeeze some more. I'm going to tug. That's good. So now I'm going to cut off my extra wire. Now I've got this still attached to the spool because I think that maybe saves a little bit of, maybe I don't waste as much. So I'm going to cut it off my spool here. And I've got a piece of chain here. I think I cut this about 6 inches long that I'm going to put around the back of the necklace. So I'm going to put my crimp tube on. And my piece of chain. And I'm going to go down the other side of the crimp tube. Or go back through the crimp tube. And I'm going to go through a bead on this side so that I can get my hands out of the way. Pull my wire through. Hold on to my chain. And I want to make sure that I don't have any slack in my piece, but I don't want it to be too tight. And I don't want to get it too terribly close to my chain here. I want my chain to be able to move. I'm going to make my loop kind of like that. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and go in the part with the tooth again and lay the tooth on top. Squeeze. And then go in the part, the second part of the circular part there. And lay my crimp in there. Squeeze. Go down and squeeze a little bit more. Tug. That's good. So now I'm going to cut off my extra wire. So that's one side of my necklace. And now I'm going to string up the other side just like this one. And I'm going to crimp to this side of my chain. You can't see. I'm going to string up the other side of my necklace just like this one. And I'm going to crimp to this side of my chain into my toggle bar. And I'll just do that off camera. And then when I come back, I guess we'll be done and we'll see what I've got. So hold on, I'll be back. Okay, this is what I've got. And I forgot to mention, I seem to be forgetting everything today. I didn't crimp this side directly to my toggle bar. I used a couple of links of the chain and crimped it to that and then attached it to the toggle bar with a jump ring. I always like to put a little extra space between the toggle bar and the beads. If I don't, when I do this, the beads get too close down here to the ring, and sometimes they want to get inside the ring, and it's just better to leave a little space there. You could also use a closed jump ring if you have a copper or rose gold closed jump ring instead of doing it directly to the toggle ring and to the chain. I just don't have any closed jump rings in copper or rose gold. I think I'm going to have to invest in some rose gold wire guardians or rose gold crimp covers or something for times like this, or copper ones. I don't have any. Like I said, if you're not a subscriber to the Bargain Bead Box and you decide you want to be, that coupon code will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, hope y'all have a great day. Take care.